Hello, staff. Just coming to you with the last COVID-19 coronavirus update. As we head into summer break, obviously I'll be leaving you alone much more, especially once we get through graduation next Monday. But today is, of course, the last optional teacher work day. I don't know how many of you are working today or taking today off, but I do want to remind you to make sure you fill out the teleworking form through today if you haven't done that. Catch up with that. And if you are taking any of these days off or trading them for days like graduation, just put that in the notes rather than bullet pointing what you do. You can just write PLU time or trading for graduation, however you want to do that. We do want to say thank you for all of you who are going to be able to help and remind you that there's no requirement to attend graduation this year. There's a lot of you who have things planned already because of the pushback, and we understand that. A couple other things going on this week that we want to remind you of that we could use your help with. On Tuesday morning, we are going to meet at the school to pass out senior signs. So there's an email out there about that. We've bought signs for each of the seniors. If you want more information about that, you can email Richie Price, who has headed up that project, or Brian Rudolph, of course, who's helping organize getting as many people there as possible to take those. We're going to actually take them and put them in the seniors' yards, so that'll take a little while. If you're interested in helping that, email one of them too and see if they need any more help. Wednesday morning, of course, we'll have our final Wednesday morning, 9 to 11, drop-off pickup event for students. We expect this one to be pretty busy. We've got a lot of seniors still who need to pick up their graduation tickets and hand in computers and things like that. So we worked out some kinks this past Wednesday. If you're interested in helping with that event, email Kelly Blakeney or just show up at the school on Wednesday morning and we'll be glad to have you. I do want to remind you about the end of the year checklist attached to the last staff update. It's not really a list that you have to print off and have signed. It is a list just to kind of remind you of what you need to have done before you head out for summer break. So make sure you've looked through that and that you've closed out your room. One of the big questions we had is, do you have to move all the furniture out of your room like we normally do? And the answer to that is no, because normally you have a lot of students to help you with that. You don't now. The custodians will take care of that part for you. You just need to make sure you have everything packed up and stored away and personal items taken with you so that you don't end up with something missing when you come back in August. Don't forget about the new calendar. That is out. I also linked that on the last staff update. I won't do that again today. I'm assuming you know where it is and you've looked at it, but notice the much earlier start date to the school year, especially the much earlier start date to the optional teacher work days this year. So that's a big thing to pay attention to. All right, so I've been asked to remind you of a few things. First of all, your teacher contract should be available in Frontline Central now. They've had a hard time with those. Normally we would have gotten those to you and had you wet sign them, but this time it's going to be a digital signature on your teacher contract, and it should be available to you in Frontline Central. If you don't have a contract available to you in Frontline Central, please email Virginia Gutierrez or me, and I'll help you out with that. But Virginia Gutierrez will be the best person to email to find out about your teacher contract. So get those signed and turned back in as soon as you can. Today would be a great day to do that. All right, summer PLC days. This is one thing that kind of snuck up on me a little bit, and maybe it snuck up on you too. I'd kind of forgotten about those. Normally, we have lots of options for you for your 5 summer PLC days. Remember, due to the EPIC grant, eligible work groups, so not everybody's eligible for these, but eligible work groups get 5 PLC days at $120 a day. So it's $600 extra in your pocket over the summer. Normally, like I said, we have lots of options for you. We're not going to have a lot of options for you to do those. We're going to leave those completely to you and your PLC. So you have 5 days to do PLC planning. Now, some of you are singletons and you're like, what about me? That's okay. You can still get the money. You can still work in collaborative processes with other colleagues planning for next year, even though it may not be 100% true PLC work. You'll need to just get into small groups, as small as 2, and do those 5 days. Now, the good news is, and I've confirmed this with Amanda Stinchcomb, you're going to need an agenda for each of those 5 days. So when you turn in your paperwork, you'll need an agenda for each of those 5 days. Even if you do them all in 1 week, you'll need an agenda for each day that shows what happened that day. But you'll only need to do one of the EPIC grant stipend request forms, okay? And I'm going to attach those to this email today so that you have that. So that's good news. You'll only need to do one EPIC stipend request form, but you'll need an agenda for all 5 days. And you can turn those in all at one time to Miss Wallace in the office anytime between now and, of course, when we come back to school in August. And we'll get those turned into the EPIC grant office and get you paid for those. All right, I'd like to see everybody that's eligible for that take advantage of that, because that's just extra money in your pocket. We haven't heard about anything with the EPIC grant as far as extensions or how that's going to work. I've had a few questions about payouts of some of the performance bonuses and things like that, and I do think some of that's up in the air, but they've asked principals not to answer those questions. So if you have a question about EPIC grant bonus payouts, whether those are for attendance or whether those are for test scores or whether those are for clubs or whatever, by all means, go ahead and email Amanda Stinchcomb, or you just email epic@ucps.k12.nc.us, and they will answer your questions directly there. Okay, that's basically it. But now those 5 days, we'll make sure you understand, those 5 days of PLC work have to be done between June 16th and August 5th. So between June 16th and August 5th. You cannot do those on optional teacher work days. So like today can't be your first one. Tomorrow could be your first one. And then I think the first optional teacher work day is on August 6th, so you'd have to finish them by August 5th. Keep in mind, a lot of you that your NCFEs are going away, you're going to need to think about what your common assessments look like in those courses. Are you going to have benchmark type assessments? I don't think the county is going to be helping you with those anymore. You may or may not have benchmarks, but if you do plan to have some benchmark assessments to get kids ready for the final exam, then you would need to be writing those yourself, and you certainly are going to need to be writing your own final exam for those courses now. So this is a great opportunity to use these 5 days for those classes where the NCFE is going away to get some of that work done, of course, along with lots of other work. All right, I'm going through my list here. Just want to make sure that I've got everything done. Keep your eye on your email, even though today's the last work day. If we got to get through graduation on Monday, so if you're helping with graduation, just continue to watch your email over this week. I apologize for that. Summer break is supposed to have started tomorrow, but we just, with this graduation putback, we've still got kind of an extra week here that we've got to keep paying attention to things and get through graduation. All right, I think that is all I have for you. Thank you for all you've done. I'm going to just repeat myself over and over and over, but thank you for all you've done during this time. It's been extremely challenging. I'm proud of Jacket Nation, of how we've handled this situation. Of course, it's not been perfect. Of course, we're ready to get back in school and do things the regular way, but I just want to say thank you for all you've done. It's been a great year. I can't wait to see you all face to face so I can tell you that face to face. But thanks again, and I hope all of you have a great day today and a wonderful summer break. Talk to you soon.